All right, you're off.
Okay, so I'm starting with the contents of the class. There were 21 students in the class, and they were all very energetic and super excited to have us there. And so was the teacher. She was really excited to have some technology being integrated into a phonics lesson. I think they had iPads at the school, right? But we ended up bringing the ones from here anyways, because we just thought that would be easier because we have the apps kind of the same thing as what the other group said. There was one student with Down syndrome in the class, which we didn't know about. So we didn't have a separate app or anything prepared, but we did give her an iPad, and she wasn't there the first day, she was there the second day, and she actually was having fun. I sat with her for a little bit, and she was enjoying it a lot, and her aide actually asked me for the name of the apps and stuff after, because we wanted to get them more, so yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, same thing with the teacher. It was another kindergarten class. So they were working on just a few letters. I can't remember. They were a little different from the ones that the other class had done. But we were on the letter R. Yeah. So with us, it seemed like all the ones that we were working on, it was the same letter formation that she was using. So they do kind of a fun like a stick down, meet in the middle, and like kick it out. They were all kind of following along, and it was kind of really fun because they were all doing it with the teacher and when we were showing them on the document cam. And so yeah, she was just really excited to have the iPads in the classroom, and she was excited for the apps that we chose. We picked 2 apps, same as the letter writing one, and then also what was the
First words.
First words was the second one.
So we chose the 2 apps on the App Store. It took us some time to go through and pick actually an app that we thought was suitable for a kindergarten class, because we didn't want ads popping up and we wanted to be able to pick through the letters. She taught the letters through a special thing called Writing Without Tears. And so it was, yeah, so my mom's school does it as well, and it's kind of like you start on the one side. So we were on the first few letters, so it was weird how we were starting with R, not A, B, or C. So if you're starting on this side and you're going over, but then the next letter you go with would be to like an L, because the L is starting in the middle, and then you'd move to the stage where you're starting on the other side. So you're not jumping and going right A, B, C, D. She wants you to learn like stages, and so it all makes sense and it all combines together. We researched the apps, we became comfortable with them. We sent them to the teacher and she approved them. We talked to Tim about them also, and he went through them, liked them. We contacted the UVic department and we rented them out, and then we downloaded the apps as requested.
So when we were in the classroom, I hadn't particularly thought through that we would have to show it somehow to the entire class, so it was really nice that the teacher actually had a document cam there for us to use. So we used the doc cam to go through the app once without them even touching the iPads, so we had them all closed on the desks. And then we went through it once, and then we told them all to open it again, and we went through it again with them step by step. None of the students, I think, had ever used the app before, but they caught on really quickly, which was nice. And I was a little surprised how fast they caught on and were able to work through them. So these are the steps kind of as you go through the letter writing app, as the group before us did. So the first one is just, it shows it done for you. Goes through the steps, writing from the top down to the left, from the top down to the right, and then across through the middle. And then you have the pointers down in the far right corner. You have more pointers, but you get to do it yourself. And then the top only gives you a couple points to follow through with. And then there's also a puzzle at the end.
With an A in it.
Yeah, and then the second app we did was called First Words, and it was really exciting because the first app we did the first day, and the kids just zoomed right through it. We barely had to really show them anything. As soon as the iPad turned on, they were just going through it faster than we could keep up with them. And so we came in the second day. We kind of told her we were going to review the second app, and she was like, oh, she was so excited to kind of start a second one. And we're like, okay, well, we'll just quickly review it. And we weren't sure about this one because you kind of have to log in, you have to put a name, you have to select if you're a boy or girl, and we were like, okay, how's this gonna go? And so grabbed it and I started doing the tutorial, and they all did it just fine in seconds, and they got in. And so this one, you're kind of just grabbing the letters and they just have to match them. And then the really cool thing was that there's kind of a badge system at the end of this one. So if they get so many words right, they get to select a sticker. So then it was a big competition in the classroom because, oh, well, I got 6. Well, I have 4 right now. And I was walking around and they were just all so excited. So we thought that was pretty neat since we're all competing for badges.
We found for this app it was really useful because we only had the headphones the first day. The computer lab app Bravefoot was able to lend them to us. Because when you touched and you put the B onto the B, it would say the sound effects of it. And so that would have been nice for them to hear that B sounds like B, like, so they could able to go through it and build it properly.
It's a phonics part.
Alright, so then just for teachers' lesson. Yeah, so we met up and sort of shared the app amongst us. And made sure we practiced it before we went in. And we got the iPads, and before the class started, we made sure to prepare them with the sound and everything. What else? Yeah.
So this is the writing without tears handwriting without tears that I was talking about earlier. How she gave us a sheet ahead of time, and you can faintly see after capital teaching order, underneath the P, the F, E, and the D, there's check marks, and that was kind of the stage she was moving along with the letters. She wanted us just to stick with uppercase letters, and then we didn't even touch the lowercase letters in her class. So in relation to the SAMR model, the integration of technology through the apps that we found provided a substitution / argumentation and enhancement for the regular phonic lessons. The students were used to it at a kindergarten level. It became more difficult to allow for modification and refination using technology, mostly because their level of understanding of both technology and the concepts they're still learning is at an introductory stage.
What did you notice more about the different learning experiences between each child when they're learning on the app compared to when they'd be learning in the classroom?
I noticed that when they're working on the app, well, the app specifically was letter formation and writing. So, like the app was showing them the direction to do the strokes, and they all had to do it a certain way. And whereas when we practice on paper and on the chalkboards, they kind of, if they want to do it their way, they can. But the app was showing them like a specific way, and like the more correct formation of the top down strokes. That was good. And then I also noticed that like they were, I don't know, it was being reinforced by the app. It was kind of taking what they've done before and then just reinforcing it, having another medium to practice on, something that's different and more, I guess, more interesting, because it's kind of flashy to have the iPad.
It's a different way of learning for the students,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
What surprised you with the app that we used?
I liked that it had kind of like a story or like a motivation to why they were practicing forming letters, like they had to get it back from the guy who took them. So it kind of engaged them more. It was a bit more interesting than just saying make the letter as like we would regularly do with paper.
Yeah, having those 4 steps definitely like allowed them to kind of like change the levels and like.
Well, I guess then to sum it up, we found that these apps worked really well in the classroom. The teacher was really happy with what we had brought in. We were really happy to be in the classroom with the kids. It was exciting, and it was something new and different to use the technology in the classroom. In hindsight, if we were to do it again, we probably would have prepared another app just to bring in case, they had gone through it too fast or whatever, then we weren't stuck using the same app for the entire class when they already knew how to use it. It was too easy. And also, if we had known about the student with the special needs, we probably would have done more preparation for her as well.
And so here's just a few photos of the students working on the apps. We had a hard time getting these because of the fact that they had faces in them. So they had come in and take photos, but we couldn't grab any of them because they had face things. So Tarj, the principal, he went through and he was able to cut and do the best he possibly could to get us just some pictures for the class.
That's very cool. And from the principal is really good because it means you can use them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Great. So the interesting thing is, Taj going to take photographs is probably because he sees a way of promoting his school. So you coming and doing that, I guarantee he's shared that to other principals, which is really good for me when I approach another principal and say, oh, do you fancy this? He's going to tell that story. So that's what he does with those types of pictures. So that was good. You're helping.
Just a little side note, when we were standing in the hallway setting up our iPads, it was really awesome because there was probably 3 different teachers that walked by us and were so excited and that we were in the school and they couldn't wait for us to be in their classrooms as well.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, another group's coming to our classroom next week. I cannot wait. Like, they were all super pumped about it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool for you guys. Questions, please?
So you guys, as well as the other teams, been saying about having new apps. Do these apps not have levels? For example, you finish A through B, and now you can go on instead of having to first trace it. Now on your own, you have to actually draw it without any boundaries or any, it's just the one level, and then what's it then?
Yeah, you can either select all capitals or select all lowercase. I don't know if it went beyond that. Did it? No. So
No, each letter, how you saw the 3 pictures on our group and the other group, they just had those 3 stages and that was it.
Because that may be tough to have over the course of your
Mhm.
1 letter unit class over 4 apps, so that students can practice as
the
well.
second app did have levels.
Okay.
So it had easy, medium, and hard. And different grades. So it had preschool all the way to maybe grade 6 or 5 or something. So that one had the different levels.
And it'll be very interesting because what you're doing now is I'm paralleling phys ed. There's different types of games, the easier game and then harder games. And then kids can come in at what game they're able to play. So you're starting to really plan a sequence of apps that will be your task progressions and your game, right? Because the way you've described it, there's a play element to these. And what Arlene was describing is there's always a whole language phonics. You're going to get to this in language arts when you do it. Do you teach phonics? Do you teach whole language? This was doing both because there was a story associated with the phonics to make you learn the phonics but do it in a storied way, right? And so if you do it in a storied way, you retain it way better. So they're combining what you'll learn next term in language arts.
You mentioned that the teacher had a certain order of the letters she wanted to teach. With the app, could you program which letters the kids could work on, or you just told them
We
we're
said
working
just
on?
go start with letter R.
Yeah.
Because she's like, that was the letter of the week.
She put the letters on the board that she
like
wanted
Sesame
them to
Street.
work on, so they were supposed to go through those first.
So there wasn't
and
really a
then
way
they
to
could-
monitor besides walking
No.
about?
A lot of students were going through the alphabet, and a lot of them were doing, like Lana said, their names, because they knew the letters of the name.
Cool. Great. One more question, Matt.
I was really curious. That one app you said, she was boy and girl. Do you know why?
Oh, yeah, I was in that.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was
They offer different words.
Yeah,
I had to pick
no, there
that
wasn't
for
really any
that.
differences. There were little avatars that sat in the
Ah.
Yeah,
of the
you could
top of the
swipe
screen.
through a whole bunch of different people that looked like.
Good question, all right?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, it was like you're making a profile to log on. So like you have your student's name, the grade you were in, the level you'd like, and also if you're a girl or a boy. So what we did, because like she said, oh, they will not be able to do this all at the same time. So we just said everyone put the first letter of their name in. So we said everyone so for me I put M and then I just selected girl and then just moved on. Like we did not try and make them spell their names. It's way too difficult.
Yeah.
students did though.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, you guys. Thank you.